Starting and scaling a business can be extremely difficult, draining, and very challenging. Sometimes you just want to give up, but stick in there because in this video, I'm going to be speaking with a guy named James from Merchant Spring, and he's going to be telling us about how he quickly scaled his SaaS company in 2 years up to now having over 8,500 stores connected to his business. It's a B2B type of business, but the amount of growth that he's experienced is just remarkable. So I had to pick his brain to see what he did to scale this business in a very competitive landscape. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then stick around on this video and let's go ahead and jump into it. Real quick, before I introduce you to James, let me first tell you quickly who I am. My name is Ian Smith, and I run an Amazon marketing agency called Evolve Media Agency. At EMA, we focus on creating content for Amazon sellers that helps them boost the conversion rates of their Amazon product listing pages and their storefronts. So we do product photo shoots, product video shoots, and a lot of copywriting and keyword research to overall revamp their listing, get it ranking as best as possible organically, and get the conversion rate as high as possible so that when the PPC ads are running and driving external traffic, you will see the best ROAS and ACoS because you know your foundation, which is the product page, is converting at the best and highest level. So if you need help with launching new products on Amazon, scaling up current products, and increasing conversion rates of your product listing pages, then book a free consulting call with me by going to emaamz.com. All right, so now let's jump into the video and let me introduce you to James. What's up, James? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for making time.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on this video with me, man. Basically, what we're going to be sharing today is James's story of how he built a successful SaaS business. And, I talked to a lot of different SaaS, business owners and high-level executives, and I always wonder in my head, like, how did they build a SaaS company? Because it seems difficult. I mean, you got to develop the software, you got to hire the team and train them and stuff like that. So James, where did it start for you? Would you say like 4 years ago was when it all kind of started going into that direction?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, I think the story starts with trying to solve our own problem. So 4 years ago-ish, we were a marketplace management agency in Australia. At the time, the marketplaces were like a relatively new thing here. So brands was thinking like, what do I do with all these marketplaces? Anyway, we were managing all these clients' marketplace accounts. And the problem was on a daily basis, how do you see all of your clients in one place? And there was no technology for that. So, while we were an agency, we built a product for ourselves to use internally. And then 2 years into it, some other agencies and brands said, well, can we just use the product? So that was kind of it's not a very sexy story, Ian, but it's kind of like, solving our own problem that just accidentally became a SaaS product for the market. That makes sense.
Well, you're not the first agency that I know that has done that, but I think you have been able to scale your SaaS side of things substantially faster and larger than the other one that I know. So, congrats on the success. Are you able to share like how quickly and so it sounds like, 2 years. So it took you 2 years in that one agency. And then the next 2 years was basically like 2020 time till now to scale this actual then SaaS product. Cause it sounds like you ditched the other agency.
Yeah. Ditched is a very kind word, and I would have used a much stronger word than ditch.
You gently put it down and then moved on to...
But yeah, we don't run our agency business anymore.
Okay.
And yeah, so we've been full SaaS for, I think 2 years. I just remember it was like the start of the pandemic is like when it really converted to full SaaS for us.
Okay. And how many active users do you currently have? How many total customers do you currently have on a monthly basis?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have a lot. And I think it's a bit hard to answer because, I just want to share with everyone that, one kind of agency user or one e-commerce accounting firm may actually bring us, potentially hundreds of users on just for one major user, if that makes sense.
Wow.
So I would say the lens to put over this would be, we have over 8,500 e-commerce merchants connected to our platform overall. So, one merchant or two merchants or three or whatever could come from, a particular partner. If that makes sense.
But still, I mean, within 2 years, you have that many merchants, and it's crazy. What it tells me is that you guys built a very awesome tool that's very helpful to scale that quickly. I mean, did you put a lot of money into marketing? Like, how did you raise awareness, or was it just word of mouth?
Honestly, it was just things like this, Ian. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but myself and my co-founder, we just pump out videos. Like literally every week, I'll just pump out two. I don't even care if nobody likes them or nobody comments. It's just like almost religious. And my co-founder does the same thing, but it's more like a webinar. So all of our businesses really just come from that. And actually, I think a weird thing that we do is, we don't say no to any meetings, like whether it's with, some e-commerce educator or, some dude who investigates your shipping products in China. Like we'll meet anybody. And I think part of the combination of that means you're talking to everyone, and the opportunities for referrals is so much easier. I mean, we don't do much marketing by the, in the paid sense. But yeah, it's mainly from that, to be honest with you.
Wow. So content marketing, basically.
Yeah.
And then referrals, I'm sure, and relationships. And that's pretty awesome, though. So I guess, tell us quickly, like, what is your tool? What does it offer? What does it do for people?
Yeah. So if I think about the agency user type, which is who it was really built for in the start, it lets you see all of your clients in one dashboard. So the reason why agencies love it is they may have 80, 90, 100 Amazon accounts connected. And as soon as they log in, they can see, all of in total, those 100 accounts that I'm managing is, 20 million bucks of sales or whatever. And then, they can, in another 2 seconds, they can see, this client here is down 20% on the prior week. I'll have a look at that. Boom. They can see that in 3 seconds. For a lot of agencies, that's really critical, because what was the alternative for them? It was like getting a VA to log into all the things and look at a Google sheet and then find out, 3 or 4 hours later what's going on. I think on top of that, our technology is built so that 99% of the time, these agencies will use the software branded as their own technology, so they can offer it to their clients. Their clients can get a login, and it feels like that agency's technology, which is really cool, because, we're actually helping agencies to elevate their service. Like, go beyond just a PPT or a Google slide, actually give your clients something to interact with. And,
it makes the agency seem leveled up and more higher end. So maybe they can charge even more because they have this special dashboard to offer to their clients.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the agencies have gone really far with what they wanted to do with us. Like, we've translated the app into different languages. We've cut out bits of the menu. Some agencies, you just see Vendor Central. That's it. It's all kind of, we can cater it all to whatever the agency's clients are. But funnily enough, we haven't had to compromise on what the product is. The product still is exactly the same. We're just kind of putting on different lipstick depending on the occasion. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, would you say exactly the same from when you first created it, or are you constantly changing things, improving things, adding new features? And do you have any new features that you're working on right now that you're going to be adding in soon?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're always changing the product. Every 3 weeks we do a release. But I mean, in terms of the DNA, which is solving the problem of visibility, that has not changed. That's all we do. We don't do ad optimization. We don't do any crazy stuff like that. We're just giving data to people in language that a 5-year-old child can understand. That's kind of our mantra. But yeah, in terms of new features, we're really thinking about customization of the actual visuals. So a lot of our agencies, we change the font, we change the menu color and all that. But agencies are I want to be able to self-serve different parts of that. So maybe I want to just show this part of the dashboard. I want to have the ability to kind of create my own savable thing. So we're kind of exploring that. But in terms of new releases, we're actually releasing today, which is Friday, this whole reporting thing called Sales by Parent. A lot of agencies have asked us for that. So we have all these metrics at a kind of child level, but, we're releasing this Sales by Parent level. So it gives you all these metrics aggregated up from all of the child products into this parent level. So yeah, it's coming out today.
Well, that's really cool, man, that you were able to, build this tool that obviously is helping a lot of businesses, very B2B. But as far as your other ventures? Do you have any other investments or businesses that you're launching? So many times I talk to SaaS companies and they've got like all these different ventures going on, but are you a one focus type of guy, or do you have multiple things that you're juggling?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. And I actually see that a lot. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, will be business people saying that, they have many businesses on the go. I don't. I'll be honest, like it's just this at the moment. And I think
Nice.
I think it's, as you probably know as well, like it's, if you're doing something and you're going all in, I think you need to be laser focused on it. I think that applies to not only yourself, but the business as well, right? Like you can't really give, like there's only 24 hours in a day. You can't give 10 things your all, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's Jeff Bezos. Basically, he kind of talks about that as well. When he started Amazon, he went all in on Amazon, but then he created these different verticals and silos inside Amazon to just make all these different revenue streams all under that one brand. And Grant Cardone actually talks about doing the same thing. He talks about like having an octopus. He compares it to an octopus because he really likes, octopi or that animal. And basically he talks about bringing in multiple revenue streams under that same umbrella. So do you have any plans to kind of launch other sub-products or anything under this Merchant Spring brand?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question again. We do have probably 3 products that we have under the Merchant Spring brand already. So we have the version of it that's more for brands, the version of it that's more for agencies, and then the version of Merchant Spring that's not actually used by consultants, e-commerce accountants, other SaaS tech. It's funny, like other SaaS tech are customers of ours. We'll put our technology inside there. So, we do have 3 revenue streams. I'd say there's a 4th. It's probably like an amalgamation of all of that. But, we haven't released that. I'm coming to the US next month to kind of explore that with a few larger agencies, actually. So, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Well, as far as the growth rate, how fast you grow. I mean, looking at the timeline, it's like 2 years to grow that fast seems like a lot, but you're so chill about it. Like, did you do anything? Like, were you surprised by the growth rate, or did you do things that were like, no, this was the goal and this is just part of the plan to be scaled up this fast over 2 years?
To be honest, like I guess because I'm in the weeds so much, I feel like disappointed that it wasn't fast enough. I feel like, perhaps it could have been bigger and better, but every business person is going to think that way, right? I think there were specific revenue goals there, and I would say that we've hit every single one of those goals, every single time. The journey, though, has been strange. Like, for example, the traveling to the US was never part of the plan. But funnily enough, actually going to the US in March and going to Prosper was a massive kind of help to hitting all those targets, if that makes sense.
Really? Okay. Yeah. And you didn't even have to sponsor the event, right? Like you just went there as a vendor or an exhibitionist, or what do they call them?
I went there as a solution provider attendee.
Okay, attendee.
I just spent all of the money on lunches and dinners with people who want to do business with us. So, yeah.
Okay. Now that's a nice little strategy there. So the growth rate, has been happening. And as far as like where next, like I see a lot of SaaS companies getting acquired. I see big, umbrella companies that are just building a portfolio basically. And what is your long-term strategy? Like, will you one day sell off to a bigger company, or do you want to just like continue riding this and just build it as big as you can get it?
Yeah, I think it's a mix, man. I think it's important to continue building it till it's as big as, you can get it. But I also think it's important. I think it's important as well to always think about supporting the customers as well. So, when we're doing business with agencies, some of them are saying, I'm going to be doing agency for the next 20 years. So it's really important to ensure that if the product is so integral in their business, that it is there to support them as well for the next 20 years or whatever, however long it is they want to do that. But then thirdly, I also think it's just natural to always think about a synergistic partner that could take the business even bigger and better for all those customers. So I think it's a combination of all 3.
So a merger, it sounds like, is what you would be more open to.
Yeah, if it's the right, I'm not going out on the street with a sign and doing that. But I mean, if it's the right partner that could actually genuinely help our existing customers and future customers more, then yeah, it's something that we would be thinking about.
Okay. So to all agencies, advertising agencies, since you work with a lot of agencies, I guess either give one massive tip, like like one big growth strategy to either an agency or if you want to do it for a SaaS company, what is that one big tip that you would give? Either of those. I mean, you can choose or you can do both if you're willing.
I think for agencies, it's do not. I feel like it's never a bad thing to give your clients someone else's technology. And of course, I'm biased to say that, but just think about how much productivity you can unlock, like by leasing versus building internally. Because I feel like a lot of agencies I speak to, they say, I've tried to build this or I've built this, it's half works, I've spent X many $100,000 into it, and I'm still not getting anywhere. I think I was talking to Scott Needham the other day, and he even just said to me, he's like, man, if I knew that Merchant Spring existed when I had my agency, like I would have just done that instead of spending $500,000 trying to build something that didn't really cater to what the needs were. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to agencies building their own platforms, lease versus try to own or finance, that's what you're saying?
Yeah. Basically, if there's something out there that, and it's not just from the reporting, like for whatever it is, if there's something out there that really works, just use it. Don't try and build something. Because I mean, at the end of the day, agencies are designed to be agencies, and that's what they're really good at. Coming back to our point about doing what it is, you're really good at and being laser focused on that only.
Okay. So for SaaS company builders, owners, CEOs and founders, like what would you say is one thing they can do to just unlock massive growth? Like I know that you said your secret was creating content. Would you recommend that as well, or is there anything else?
No, 100% content, man. That is the number one way to unlocking growth. I think just doing any sort of content regularly, massive help. It's not a secret. It's just more of a discipline.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it is hard, to like continuously, and you keep investing. And sometimes even though you're investing for the long term, you see that, like what you said, you don't look at the likes, you don't look at the comments, and sometimes they're not there. Sometimes it seems like there's just crickets there, but you have to keep pushing through the silence, to eventually get some people that are watching and listening, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, people will be surprised that, a lot of the sales will say, yeah, I saw a couple of seconds of your video, or I saw you here or there or something. And it's the likes may not be there, but certainly the customers are. And that's what matters.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks, James. Big time for jumping on this video, sharing your story, how you built this. What do you guys do over there? And hopefully the viewers can get some value from this video.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, click the like button, leave a comment below, and we'll catch you in the next video.